Star Wars. You intrigued me with this one. This was a good game, man. Jedi Fallen Order. Um, Shoot, I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to talk about this, and I've beaten the game. I've had the game beaten for like a while, but just now got around to getting some gameplay footage up on the phone. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a bit of a review in here. Ultimately, fun game. Really, reminds me quite a bit of Force Unleashed. I feel like the lightsaber play was a little more wild and a lot more, intense in that game. But ultimately, this did provide a pretty decent story. The guy from Shameless plays the cow character. I don't remember all of the names like that. Grease when was the little Danny DeVito. I was expecting a Danny DeVito voice out of the pilot, and Deborah Wilson from Mad TV. You also pick up a little Monchi type deal. Just cute characters, and the robot of BD8, man. This is really, in a lot of ways, is just a story about a boy and his dog, right? If your dog was a adorable little robot. Yeah. So spoilers as far as story goes. The Deborah Wilson was once a Jedi Knight during the massacre that took place of the Jedi Order, and she and her apprentice were kidnapped, and her apprentice is Trilla, who honestly looks like a goth version of Sana Amanat. So, pretty hot over here. Y'all guys know how I feel about Sana Amanat. Like, great to look at, terrible at creativity. But either ways, yeah, so Trilla, they have that whole scene where, she's trying, the whole theme of the story, it seems, is, let it go. Like the things that happened in the past, you can't get over them. I mean, a tale as old as time, right? When it comes to the overarching story, like your main goal is to get the holocron, where it's just a list of force sensitive children that they want to train up. But spoiler for the ending of the game, Cal chooses not to put the children at risk because there are several flashbacks that he has where, not flashbacks, but premonitions, I guess, where it's like the Empire came through and slaughtered the children, and definitely don't want to do that to them. They don't deserve to have their lives ruined because of you, and so they smash the holocron and leave themselves open for sequels, which hopefully we get one of, because it wasn't a terrible story. Like I said, tale as old as time, but ultimately it handed us a pretty fun adventure that, let's be real, we haven't been getting in other mediums. I hear The Mandalorian's good. I'm not getting Disney Plus, so oh well. But this was really a fun time and a good story, with a lot of interesting characters, tons of climbing and backtracking and gaining new power. Well, not new powers, but remembering how to use the Force, because Cal here was also there during when Order 66 was done. So the backstory is about him and his master, and I think his name's Tarbo or something like that, and how his master died trying to save him, and that's one of the big things that he has to get over. So everybody has some grief. The Empire has been just terrible to them, and ultimately it's about good versus bad, evil, all that other fun stuff. So I like the game. It was as far as replay value, not that much, because it's just so much tracking and to collect everything, for what? Like I got through the story, and as you guys can see, you have a lot of fun using force powers and the like. I mean, guys, I've been gaming since the ColecoVision, right? That was the first video game system that was in my house. That's how old I am. Yikes. And secondly, just how long this art form has been a part of my life. And when you get a single player game like this with no microtransactions as far as pay to win, and not even the online thing, just a pretty decent story and a good adventure, shoot, man, this was really worth it. this was really worth it. I enjoyed myself. Yeah, so with that being said, am I gonna be finished with this? Well, nah. Let's talk a little Star Wars, because what's the name's coming out? That movie, the Rise of Skywalker is coming out, and really, who cares? Like the second movie really just dropped the ball and made everything just non-consequential, and Disney's been doing everything that it can to salvage this, but people caught on. Like I think I told you guys even before that one came out that they said a long time ago they weren't they didn't had no interest in me. So I was like, you know what, cool, I have no interest in you, and found other things to preoccupy my time. You guys see about how many videos I produce, how many other things I can care about other than the franchise. But at the same time, word on the street is that if the upcoming movie doesn't do that well, the changes are going to be made. Even though Bob Iger said, like, yeah, he still doesn't care about, like, people liked it before. So, like, oh, we want to bring in new people. Well, you bring in new people, particularly when it comes to the movie. Like, you bring in new people like this. I mean, this is definitely a hell of a medium in which to capitalize on. But at the same time, when it comes to the movies, you bring in people because, this is something that they care about and they want to see more of. You don't have to alienate anybody if you want to be real about it. I just don't get that whole divisiveness thing that everybody's on. That's like, oh my goodness, like, oh, just because you think this way about this one thing, regardless of what the thing is, that you just have to be a terrible human being. Like, stop. Cut it out, or you're just worthless, or your attention or your time is worthless. And I don't personally see it that way. I mean, guys, I appreciate everyone who's been subbing, everyone who's come to the channel and, left comments of encouragement. I really do appreciate you guys, without question. So with that being said, and that's the thing, that gratitude is something that, a company as large as Disney, because, they make all the money and there'll always be a sucker out there to exploit. Like they're like, oh, well, we'll have another sucker to exploit. It'll be fine. But I guess I'm not particularly in any type of position to to have such hubris. So thank you guys. Like, seriously. I'll be damn seriously. Like, I really do appreciate you guys coming through and spending your time watching the videos, commenting, liking. It really does mean a lot. So with that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it a like, dislike, go ahead and do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? I mean, are you looking forward to the Rise of Skywalker? Did you play Last Jedi? Did you play Fallen Order? What did you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. And, until the next one.